Okay, if you just watched the video on solving quadratic inequalities, this is going to be very, very similar. It's the exact same method. The problems just look a little bit different at the beginning. So I'm going to take a rational inequality, something like x plus 5 divided by 2x minus 8 and x plus 3. And I want to know where the answers to that are less than 0. Okay, so we're going to use a method that uses critical points. So we're going to take these three factors, remember all of these are factors, and we're going to find where they each equal 0. So this gives me x equals -5, this gives me x equals -3, and this gives me x equals +4. So then you make a number line, and you label those points on it, and make sure you go in order. So -5 is there, then -3, then +4. So I'm going to break all the numbers on the number line into 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. Okay, so now I want to pick a number that falls in each section and pick something pretty simple. So if my border is 4, I'm going to try 5. Something between -3 and 4, 0 sounds good. Between -3 and 5, I'm going to do -4, and then I'm going to do -6. Just pick simple numbers. Okay, so now take your -6, and we're going to plug it in, and we're just going to see if we get a positive number or a negative number. We don't care if it's, -11.2 or -15/7. You just want to know if it's positive or negative. So if I take a -6 plus 5, that's going to give me a negative number. And then it's going to be divided by -12 minus 8. That's going to be another negative. And I'm also going to divide by -6 plus 3, which is another negative. So I would have 3 negatives. 3 negatives gives me a negative answer. I'm going to take -4. -4 plus 5 is going to give me a positive on top. -8 minus 8 is going to give me a negative. And -4 plus 3 is a negative. 2 negatives makes a positive. I take 0. 0 plus 5 is positive. 0 minus 8 is negative. 0 plus 3 is positive. Well, if I have 3 numbers and one is negative, my answer is going to be negative. If I take 5, 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 minus 8 is positive, and 5 plus 3 is positive. 3 positives makes a positive. Now, normally this will happen. See how this alternates, negative, positive, negative, positive? That's normally what's going to happen, but you cannot count on that. Always plug the numbers in and double check. Especially if you have an x squared here, it's going to change that. You could have 2 positives or 2 negatives next to each other. So don't get negative for your first one and then just assume that it alternates. Okay. We are looking now, we got to decide what our answer is. Well, we want the stuff that is less than 0. Well, less than 0 means negative. I'm looking for negative things. So over here on my number line, that's this section and this section. So all of the numbers between -3 and 4, and all of the numbers less than -5. So the way I write that with interval notation, knowing that this is negative infinity and this is positive infinity, is -infinity to -5, and I'm going to use a parenthesis because I just have less than, I don't have less than or equal to. Union, and then I need this section, and that's going to be -3 to 4. So that is my answer. If you were to graph this, you could do y equals this on Desmos and look at it, and you would see that the graph is going to be below the x-axis all the way up to -5, and then it's going to be positive, and then it's going to be below the x-axis again between -3 and +4. So if you want to use Desmos to look at it to help you understand what's going on, that would be a good idea.